Hey guys, how are you? David Franco here from davidfranco.com/ask. Where else? That's your open forum where you can submit your questions, and just maybe I will take those questions and answer them in future videos. Yep, such as this one. Today's question is a very interesting one, and right off the bat, I gotta say I'm gonna have a hard time answering this, but it was so unique and interesting that I just could not ignore it. So let's just jump right into it. Today's question comes from Connor Taylor 1997, and Connor says, David, where do you see the world going with tech? Will it get out of hand and not exist, or will it be here forever? I'd like to see your opinion. Okay, Connor, this is a very interesting question, and I'm going to break it up into sections. So the first part, where do you see the world going with tech? Well, I see it getting better. I see it getting faster. I see it getting thinner. I see it getting more efficient. I see technology blending in with the world as seamless as possible. It's basically going to be a very thin, blurred line between just the basic tasks and using technology. For instance, a great example, I don't really cook. I go to Wawa, please. Me cooking just doesn't happen that often. But if I would like to cook, nowadays I would, search a recipe on Google. But somebody who's really, really into cooking is going to download an app with tons of awesome recipes and use their iPad or iPhone or Android device within the kitchen and cook right there without even touching a piece of paper. That's where I think technology is going, and we've already been there for a few years, honestly. But it's just going to get more and more seamless in the fashion that, more and more people are going to get their hands on it. Whether you're young, old, experienced, or unexperienced. Technology is going to be everywhere no matter where you go. And that's a good thing, honestly. Now, I guess that leads into part 2 of your question. Will it get out of hand? I don't know what you mean by get out of hand. This is why I had to answer this question. It's a very interesting one, and it's a legit question. Every question has an answer. Will it get out of hand? No. Okay, first of all, I should say, by out of hand, do you mean in the way? Such as if somebody's in the movie theater and they're checking their text messages and you see a big freaking light beaming up on their face, thus distracting you from the storyline of that movie, then yes, it kind of is already out of hand. Something I cannot stand is when I hear somebody's cell phone ring in church or in a movie theater or somewhere that needs silence from the crowd and the audience. That's just rude. At least in my experience, it's common sense to put your phone on silent mode or just shut it off. I mean, that's the first thing I think of when I go into a movie theater or church or wherever. Boom, vibrate, end of story. Now, your last part of your question, will it not exist or will it be here forever? It's going to be here forever. I find it kind of odd that somebody would even ask that. Yes, there's no such thing as a stupid question. I'm not saying your question is dumb. It's just a very unique question asking if technology will be here forever. I mean, yes, of course. Technology is not going anywhere. If anything, technology is going to take over analog mediums. When I say analog, I mean paper. Look at paper. I mean, the paper business has been in trouble for a while now. Will paper ever go away 100%? No. We will always need paper. But things that we don't need paper in, such as, newspapers and magazines, things like the iPad and Android tablets and even our phones have taken over already. I mean, guys, honestly, do we need newspapers? I don't think so. Yes, I don't ride the subway on a regular basis or the train or a bus. I just say that because when I think of newspaper readers, I think of New York City, people getting on the subway, getting in cabs, going to work, and that's basically their time killer, is to read the newspaper. But wouldn't you much rather read your news or watch videos on an iPad? Yes, I realize it's a very physical difference of reading a magazine versus reading iPads. I actually love magazines. Magazines are not dying anytime soon. I mean, yes, they're already somewhat in trouble, but I think newspapers are going to die much, much sooner than magazines will, because newspapers are just so big and bulky. You get the ink on your fingers, and in my experience, they're just annoying. Now, yes, I should say I'm only 26 years old. I realize there are people out there much older than me and much more experienced, and they enjoy a good newspaper. But this goes back to my original part of the conversation in saying that my generation, our generation, is going to eventually replace the older generation, and it'll just become a normal thing to not want newspapers, to not want magazines, and basically to not want to deal with old analog mediums. I mean, that's at least the way I look at it. And there you go, Connor, an answer to your question. Now, I should say, the question was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Not that any question is stupid, because I firmly, well, there are some stupid questions out there, I'm not going to lie. Like, what is this? Anything that begins with what is, just Google it. But a question like this, sure, it's unique, but it's entirely open for discussion. Hence the purpose of this video. So thank you very much for your question, Connor, and hopefully I explained myself in the best way possible. And as always, guys, today is a free audiobook day. In relating to the end of technology, let's talk about the end of the world, shall we? December 21st is quickly coming up, and as far as I see it, we're all going to be dead. No, I don't believe in that crap. I've seen people ask me before, in the past if I believe in that, and no, I don't. Come on, guys. The Mayans? Do you honestly believe that? I don't. And I'm locking my iPad. Okay, today's free audiobook is called How to Survive the End of the World as We Know It. Tactics, Techniques, and Technologies for Uncertain Things. Now, this isn't just related to technology. According to the description, it says the book includes information on proper food storage and sanitation, gardening and livestock basics, investment strategies to protect your assets, medical advice, communication techniques, home security, and how to get out of Dodge when, in parlance of the movement, the shit hits the fan. That's literally what it says. Okay, so yes, this does not relate directly to this video, but I wanted to recommend it anyway because from this description alone, I gotta say, it sounds pretty interesting. And plus, it's free. So, to get this audiobook for free, guys, just go to audibletrial.com/thecreativeone. As always, link is right below. Enjoy, and very special thanks to audible.com for making that possible. And even bigger thanks to you guys, as always, for submitting your awesome questions. I really enjoyed it. Connor, thank you again. This question turned out to be a pretty sweet discussion, at least for me. I love talking about the end of the world, the end of technology, and just the big what-if scenario. That kind of thing just fascinates me. However, Connor's question is just the beginning. If you want me to answer your question, just go to ddefranco.com/ask, and just maybe that will happen. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm currently in Seaside Heights. This video is scheduled to go on YouTube sometime during the week, so hopefully it works. I hope you guys are having an awesome week, and I'll talk to you soon.